Welcome to our journey towards understanding and managing bulimia through the fascinating world of neuroscience and the magic of the vagus nerve. Today, we'll dive into the fact that our brains might be stuck in a high-stress zones, why that may be, and explore practical methods to navigate towards a balance that includes more peace. Section 1. Understanding the nervous system of people with bulimia. In the last video, we talked about how our nervous system is a bit like a traffic light. For many bulimics, that light is perpetually stuck on yellow, stressed, but not completely shut down. Our default nervous system state is dominated by a flight, fight, and fawn stress response, yellow and orange. To avoid complete depressive shutdown, red, think of the yellow zone as your brain's way of avoiding a total collapse into red, and sometimes it plunges into the red zone. Full-on, depressive, suicidal, ideating crisis mode. Mostly though, bulimics tend to have triggered nervous system. It's like running on adrenaline, always alert, always on edge. Why is that? Well, one reason is that we, like all people who live in chronic yellow-red zones, have evolved distinct biochemistry. Our chronic stress states are marked by lower dopamine receptors, high cortisol levels, altered serotonin systems, and endocannabinoid system changes. For example, dopamine deficiency, our brains, having spent years in these chronic stress zones, have fewer dopamine receptors. Dopamine is our feel-good neurotransmitter. So with fewer receptors, we're constantly searching for high dopamine hits from external sources, like food. Also, cortisol, the infamous stress hormone, is sky-high in our systems. It's like our body is stuck on a never-ending roller coaster ride. Furthermore, high cortisol messes with our serotonin system, the calming, happy chemical. This creates a nasty cycle of stress and unhappiness. Oh yeah, and ever wonder why exercise feels so good? It's because it releases endorphins, which we need more of due to changes in our endocannabinoid system. It's like our brain's natural chill pill is on backorder. And don't forget the orbitofrontal cortex, OFC alterations. The OFC is the part of your brain that decides if you are loved or not. In bulimics, this area is underdeveloped, keeping us out of the present moment and lead to rumination, overthinking, and social anxiety. These biological differences lead to distinct psychological predispositions. It's as if your brain is a city constantly under threat of a zombie invasion, and defeat means you are unlovable. The alert system, your nervous system, never gets to relax, leading to constant stress and chaos. To recap, the chronic stress experienced by bulimics involves multiple brain systems. The net effect is a near constant state of discomfort and a desperate need for soothing mechanisms.
So you're saying our brains are like faulty traffic lights? Sounds about right.
Chronic stress as we grew up affected multiple brain systems, creating a constant state of discomfort and a desperate need for soothing mechanisms. Oh, awesome. The whole system is rigged against listening to anything I day.
Okay, this is getting weird. My midnight snacking is a response to historical stress that I never even was aware of. Who knew?
Section 2. Why might we be vulnerable to these brain alterations? Much of the why is still hard to pin down. It may be epigenetic, pre-verbal, or societal. For now, let's add some insights from Gabor Mate's brilliant books, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts and The Myth of Normal. See, brain scans reveal that these same brain alterations are similar to those seen in people that have undergone childhood trauma, are epigenetically predisposed to abuse, stress, or are in socially disenfranchised classes. People that are vulnerable to all sorts of addictions, not just bulimia. Childhood trauma. According to Mate, early relational isolation, stressful births, and even transgenerational traumatic histories are like planting epigenetic seeds of hypervigilance in our brain's garden. It stunts our nervous system flexibility, making it harder to navigate to pleasant emotions and therefore easier to give in to impulses that soothe the discomfort. The prefrontal cortex and OFC often show reduced activity, leading to difficulties in decision-making, self-control, and feeling relationally safe or loved. Addiction vulnerability. Mate's research indicates that addiction to food and substances is often a coping mechanism for dealing with unresolved trauma. It's like using duct tape to fix a broken bridge. It holds for a bit, but doesn't solve the underlying problem. To make matters worse, the brain's reward system then gets hypersensitized, making us crave those addictive behaviors even more. See, bulimia and substance addiction share similar neural changes. Both conditions conditions involve a dysregulated stress response and impaired self-regulation. It's like different branches of the same tree, each struggling due to the environment in which the seed was planted. Think of the brain as a garden. Trauma and relational stress are like weeds. If left unchecked, they overrun the healthy plants, choking out vocational growth and relational harmony. Understanding these brain changes helps us see that bulimia is deeply rooted in often unconscious trauma, and that unearthing and re-landscaping is crucial.
Okay, so now, you are saying our brains are basically messed up gardens? Real cool.
Well, flattering or not, understanding these historical brain changes helps us see why bulimia is deeply rooted in trauma and why addressing this trauma is crucial. I'll believe it when I see it working for me.
So, trauma is like weeds in our brain garden. Time to do some serious landscaping, folks.
Section 3. The temporary relief of soothing mechanisms. Let's talk about why we reach for those quick fixes, despite knowing they have significant long-term costs. Sugar and oral stimulation. Sugar is our brain's quick-hit fix. It lights up the same addictive circuits as cocaine. It's like a fleeting hug from a friend. Comforting but temporary. Oral activities like swallowing briefly activate the vagus nerve, giving us a momentary sigh of relief. Intense exercise releases endorphins, our natural painkillers. This wonderfully compensates for our deficient endocannabinoid system. For some, it's like an escape route, providing a rush that our altered system craves. Think of these soothing activities as temporary band-aids on a broken leg, a wound that needs proper treatment to heal. They cover up the issue momentarily but don't address the underlying issue. Plus, they often create more issues in the long run. There is still an unmet need to find healthier ways to self-soothe and bring the ventral vagus green online.
Yes, sugar and quick fixes because they work. Duh.
They only work for about 20 minutes, then they make it all the worse. And they sure don't solve the underlying issue. Temporary relief is better than nothing, I guess.
So my chocolate cravings are basically a cry for help. Got it.
Section 4. Activating the ventral vagus nerve. Alright, now for some exciting stuff. The vagus nerve is like the master switch for turning off fear. Think of the vagus nerve as a brake pedal for your brain's stress car. Learning to use it helps slow down the mental speed and regain control. There are various ways to stimulate this nerve intentionally. Each day we will try a different technique. Think of these exercises as daily workouts for your nervous system, much like going to the gym for physical fitness. With regular practice, we can build a robust system to manage stress and bring calmness into our lives. Keep the exercises that resonate with you and make them part of your routine. It's like building a custom toolkit for your mental health. Let's wrap this up with your first workout. Check out the next video for the explanation. Share your experiences with our community. We can build the best practices together. For the people, by the people. Let's support each other in this journey towards a healthier, calmer life. And thank you for joining us today. Remember, each small step you take brings you closer to a state of peace and well-being.
So, more about this magic nerve?
It's the key to calming our system. Magic nerve or not, I need all the help I can get.
If it involves less stress and more laughs, I'm in. And if it makes me look 10 years younger, even better.
Come back tomorrow for more insights and techniques.